Kia ora. Plenty of severe weather watches and warnings already in place as we go through this week, and it's all thanks to Tropical Cyclone Gita. You can see on the satellite images this massive cloud moving down through the Tasman Sea. That's what's set to bring our unsettled weather as we head in towards Tuesday and Wednesday. Now at the moment, Tropical Cyclone Gita is still a Category 2 system, but as it sinks southwards, it is likely to undergo transition and turn into a rather large and rather intense area of low pressure. Winds still around that central part are likely to be around about 100 kilometres per hour. So still a very severe event, but it's likely to have lost its tropical characteristics. But it is going to be a very windy, very wet few days in store. We have got plenty of those watches and warnings in place. If we take a look at that rainfall, you can see as the Gita continues to move across those northern parts of the South Island and across those central parts of New Zealand, there's plenty of rainfall in store. Particularly the lakes of Nelson, across towards Marlborough and in towards Canterbury. But you can see that rain just feeding back round and pushing on towards the South Island. Also up on towards the North Island, places like Wellington, up in towards the Horowhenua and Kapiti region, and up in towards the Taurua range. There's plenty of watches and warnings already in place. Now you can see on these accumulation charts where the worst that wet weather will be. Down the South Island, Nelson, Buller, Marlborough, in towards Canterbury, and you can see on the North Island as well, in towards Wellington as well. Could find as much as 150 millimetres of rainfall in towards parts of, say, Wellington, perhaps more so as we go down towards Nelson and Buller, as much as 200 millimetres or so of rain. So very intense bursts of rain over a very long period as well. This rain sticks with us as we head through the daytime on Tuesday. So we have got those heavy rain warnings in place for many parts of the country, particularly down on the South Island from, say, Nelson and Buller from as the early hours of Tuesday morning. Throughout the daytime on Tuesday, that's probably some of the heaviest rainfall to watch out for, but also those heavy rain watches across on towards the North Island, Horowhenua and the Kapiti coast, and also parts of the Canterbury Plains, including the likes of Christchurch and also Banks Peninsula. So plenty of wet weather in store over the next few days. But as this low sinks towards us, it's also going to bring those stronger winds. Gales that picked out there by those reds, northeasterlies ahead of the system and then southeasterlies behind it. Plenty of windy weather, not just for those areas across the central parts, but also down that western coast. Places like Western could find some of the strongest winds over the next few days. Gusts perhaps 150 kilometres per hour. So incredibly windy through there. We have got that severe gale warning out for Westland and also down in towards the Canterbury High Country, particularly close towards the Alps more than anything else as we go through Tuesday and through in towards those early parts of Wednesday. Also across on towards the eastern coast, up in towards Nelson and Buller again, and Marlborough as we go through the daytime on Tuesday. But also look at the North Island. We've got that severe gale warning for the likes of Taranaki across towards Taihape and Whanganui as well as we go through the daytime on Tuesday right into the early hours of Wednesday. And also those watches across the North Island for the likes of North and Auckland as we go through a time on Tuesday. It's not quite as prolonged as elsewhere, but a good northeasterly with that. And then still down towards the likes of, say, Wellington as well. Some stronger winds to come as we go through Tuesday into those early parts of Wednesday. Now, as well as the windy, wet weather, those strong winds are going to help to generate some high seas around our coast. And we are going to find a fair bit of high swell pushing down towards us, waves perhaps as much as 6 metres or so around the likes of, say, the Taranaki coast. And so anywhere really from, say, Raglan down in towards southern Wairarapa on the North Island and from, say, Buller right the way around towards North Canterbury, we could find the combination of this high swell plus those strong winds plus that lower pressure and combine that with some higher tides, we could well find some coastal inundation as well. So that's another thing to consider as we head through Tuesday and Wednesday. But like I say, we've got plenty of watches and warnings already in force, so please stay up to date with all the latest forecasts and all of those warnings at MetService.com.